Hello there everyone and welcome back to another episode of Golden Axe. In today's episode, we're taking on the Fiend's Path. In yesterday's episode, we liberated the turtle village from the evil clutches of Death Adder, the tyrant who has kidnapped the king and queen and stolen the mythical and titular Golden Axe. We are playing as Gilius Thunderhead, the dwarf, in a quest to find and defeat him. We liberated the turtle village in the last episode. It took us across the seas to the Fiend's Path, which is the path we're going to take to his castle. It's a little bit of a circular route, but it is what it is. And we're really in the second act of the game now. This is the sort of one. There's 8 levels. It's only 2 levels in this act, really. But yeah, this is kind of the point where the game goes from a bit boring, a bit annoying, to just flat out infuriating, because they start introducing skeletons, and they're probably the single worst default enemy in the game. Like, you know, there are worse boss enemies, but out of the 4 kind of basic enemies that you're going to see over and over and over again, I think it's pretty inarguable that the skeletons are the worst. They're big fans of charging whenever they have the opportunity. Sometimes they rise from the ground, like here, so you can't even see them. They have a jump attack, which is really annoying. They're just a horrible group of enemies. Plus, their range is really deceptive. Like a lot of situations, if you ever put yourself in a situation where you're comboing an enemy, a lot of the time that you'll look like you're hitting them, only for the game to turn around and say, like, no, actually, they're hitting you. It's like, fantastic. Thanks. Luckily, this level isn't that long. We're pretty much already at the final boss encounter. A bit of a longer one than most in the game. There's, I think, 3 fights in total as part of it. There's just that one shadowy basic enemy. You then have 2 shadow enemies. Bit bad that we got stuck in the middle there. That's generally something we want to try and avoid. But luckily we can separate them. And I would say use our charge attack, but again, the charge input's a little bit finicky. It's a motion input, like the kind you have in a fighting game. You have to press forward twice. It doesn't work all the time, to be honest. The only other attack you have beyond the kind of the basic swings and then your magic is this sort of strange attack, but that's even more finicky to pull off than the charge, and its hitbox is bizarre. So as much as it is our most damaging attack, we're not going to be using it at all, frankly. But yeah, early stages of the fight, we just go back and forth. You'll be seeing this tactic a lot at this point, because pretty much everything by this point is making use of it. Pretty much every fight in the game, at some point or another, devolves into this from this point on. I really don't like how little health we've got, but hopefully we can make it through the rest of the fight without losing any more health, and we can go and regain some in the next bonus stage. Luckily, the magic, as much as it doesn't kill any of them, it did make them all pretty weak. And of course we can go and regain some health here with this drumstick. We beat up the elves, as we always do. Come on, get over here, you scamp. There we go. We don't quite manage to refill our magic, but that's all we're going to need for the next stage. The Fiend's Path was a great eagle. We are taken across the skies to the castle. Now the final battle begins. It doesn't really. That's really in the next stage after this one, but who am I to tell the game it's wrong? But the first thing we want to do as soon as we get into this stage is we're going to go over to the eagle's face. We're going to let one of the skeletons run themselves off stage, because if they fall into a hole, they die immediately. Same with us, so we want to avoid as much as possible. We're going to then charge the other one, as you saw, off the stage immediately, off this little platform. Unfortunately, I haven't found anywhere to stand that kind of makes that final skeleton in a position where you can really hit them off the stage like his brother. Unfortunately, you just kind of have to go with the flow. We inched into this section a little bit too slowly. We want to kind of inch into it so that we can grab the Bizarrian before the lady can do anything against us. But here's what it is. Unfortunately, this section's a bit annoying because, like in every situation like this, they just charge attack us and knock us off of our mount immediately. But if we go right to the edge, we should be able to get at least a little bit of damage. The Bizarrians, much as they're kind of annoying, they do have the one benefit of being fantastic damage dealers. They do quite a bit of damage, especially the dragon. Or I should say only really the dragons, the chicken legs, which we don't see beyond this point, but the chicken legs we saw at the start, they are pretty feckless. But we are in a good position here, much as it doesn't look like it. We still have an use to continue, and realistically, this boss fight against 2 Lieutenant Bitters, that's the enemy's name, I couldn't quite remember in the last episode, but the fight against 2 Lieutenant Bitters, we're pretty much guaranteed to take damage in that situation there, but once we're able to separate them like so, we can do our usual charge attack strategy. It doesn't take as long as it looks because generally I find that once you get the guy on the left all of the way to the edge of the screen, he seems to fall down a pit or something. And then you only need to deal with the one on the right. Now unfortunately, this is going to be a pretty common thing going forward. There are a lot of stages that they throw a double Lieutenant Bitter, and all you end up doing is that with them. You find a way to separate them and then you just do that. But anyway, with that, we finally enter Death Adder's Castle and the 3rd act. This is 3 more stages, 2 of them exclusive to the Mega Drive Genesis version of the game. This is the actual final stage from the arcade, but that's for tomorrow's episode. So I thank you all for watching. I hope you're ready to see the finale next time, but for now, adios and ciao.